Right, we're back. Last preview video of the night. Co-main event UFC 309 from MSG this Saturday night. So got Liam's fight night picks. I was going to call you then. Jay's Fight Talk and Liam Tully. I guess Liam Tully of Liam's fight night picks, if you want to call it that.
Want to go for it, mate?
Yes, boys. Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler are going to rerun it. Michael Chandler been through a little bit, shall we say, with the Conor McGregor fiasco for the past while. You know, I was talking about Jones and Miocic being on and off. Jesus Christ. Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor, how many times that been on and off? But he's probably made the right call in the end for his career, hasn't he? And moving on in the end. But yeah, thoughts on the matchup, Oliveira Chandler too. The first one was a cracking fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, fight we didn't want to see, really. No one was screaming for this fight. It's a fight that they could make, pretty much. And they needed a big fight to put underneath this because there's not much on the card, really, is there? If we're honest, there's not much. You know, there's a few names scattered about, the Jim Millers, Mickey Gall. You know, there's crowd pleasers scattered in there. Bo Nichols fighting Paul Craig and that. But they needed a couple of big names. Everyone's either tied up or not long fought. So they went for Chandler was dying for a fight. He's been itching for a fight. And Charles Oliveira will fight anyone as and when. It's two decent names. You know, it's got title implications, probably-ish, maybe. The next one might be.
I heard the winner's going to get a title shot.
Doubt it very much. I mean, Islam, it's...
Arman Sarukin's next in line for Islam, but after that...
So they'll have another fight in between then, won't they? The winner of this. But yeah, I mean, look, I've got a funny feeling it potentially will go the other way this time. I don't know whether Charles is on the slide. Not on the slide, because Charles's career's sort of been like that, hasn't it? But he has little dips, and I don't know whether he's had one of them. And Chandler's good, man. Chandler's has always been good. Chandler's always top 5, isn't he? Always is either to champ or top 5. He only never really loses to the best. When he came to UFC, I think he'd only lost 2 or 3, maybe.
Yeah, Eddie Alvarez had beat him, and just a couple more. You know, he's 2 and 3 in the UFC. Is he, Chandler?
He lost to one at Pitbull Brothers, didn't he? And he lost.
Patricio Pitbull.
Against, what's the kid who? Brett.
Oh, well, he broke his leg, didn't he?
He didn't. No, he did what? The perennial. Is it the perennial nerve in the leg?
Yes, that's it.
Sean O'Malley.
Primus, is it? Brett Primus?
Primus, that's it. His leg went in that and they stopped it, didn't they? They thought his leg had broke when he went back to his stool. But what I'm getting at is Michael Chandler's a world-level elite fighter. He's been sat on the shelf for about a year, has he? Is it about that?
2 years ago, he fought Dustin Poirier on the New York card in November.
And when did Charles
Oliveira fought UFC 300 against Arman Sarukin? He lost a split decision.
So
Charles has been fighting.
You'd favour Charles, wouldn't you? Bearing in mind he stopped him in the last fight, but he was getting whooped in that fight.
Yeah, the first round was heavy for Chandler.
He was getting whooped in that fight, but that's what Charles can do. Chandler's just got one gear, hasn't he? Forward, 100 mile an hour.
They're both kill or be killed, man. They're both like Chandler's more reckless than Oliveira. I agree.
I think Oliveira's a lot more calculated in what he does. Chandler just runs forward and tries to catch
Oliveira does get caught as well. But Chandler's just kind of like gung ho, man. He just lets it fly, and he's so entertaining.
Charles will fight you when he wants to fight you and risk getting hit.
Yeah.
Whereas Chandler just wants to fight. He don't think about when and how, and he just fights and goes.
Reckless.
And either wins or gets stopped. You know, he very rarely. You know, at points, I think Alvarez fought him to he's had a couple of points, but most of his wins and losses are by stoppage.
Yeah, I'm with you, Liam.
Yeah, Jace nailed it right at the start of what you just said. It's not a fight any of us were screaming to see again. It's not. It wasn't. And that's not being harsh to both gents.
No disrespect meant in that or anything, but
it's the reality, mate. But Dana needed to give Michael a fight. The whole Conor McGregor situation backfired. It was Chandler took himself kind of away from any sort of title shot this year to pursue McGregor. That backfired, and Dana knew he had to give him something big at the end of this year. Yeah. So he's given him MSG, where he's had 2 of his best fights in the UFC, dealing with Tony Ferguson, that absolute war he had with Justin Gaethje. So you're taking him back to the scene of some of his greatest UFC moments, and you're giving him an opponent that, yes, he got submitted by in their previous fight for the title, but who he spent 5 minutes whooping his ass, beating him up. If that first round went on for another 30, 40 seconds, Michael Chandler was the lightweight champion. That's how that fight was going. So Michael Chandler is going to be confident based off of that last fight. He's going to say, okay, so he can't live with my striking on the feet. He can't live with my offensive output. Right, where did I make the mistake? How did I end up on the floor? How did I get submitted? He's had enough time to study that tape and work on it. And Michael Chandler's character, he's going to be confident and brash enough to probably come out and say at the press conference tomorrow, striking, I win. I know where I went wrong in my grappling, in my submission defense. I've made some mistakes. This guy cannot touch me. And he's going to probably feel very, very confident going into this fight. In terms of Charles, look, that Arman Sarukian fight was a split decision. It could have, obviously, split decision could have gone either way, but it's very true. Watching it on the night, it was very hard.
Arguably won that fight, mate. Arguably won that fight.
I think I edged it 2-1 to Arman, but it was close.
He arguably won that fight. And like you say, you can't say, oh, Charles has lost now to an up-and-coming contender. He's on the slide. That lad lost, 7 or 8 UFC fights before he won the gold? He breaks the mold. He doesn't do things conventionally, Charles Oliveira.
No, he's not bothered about loss.
He's not bothered about it at all. And what's the most dangerous thing in the world? It's a fighter that doesn't give a shit, doesn't care if he wins or loses. And you can say that both these blokes are like that on Saturday night. Neither of them are going to care if they lose. They just want to go out there and perform. And that is when, you ignite the gasoline and you get something special.
Yeah,
fighters,
we're going to get a good one.
And fans-friendly fighters. Everybody wants to watch both of them fight. Neither of them are ever in a boring fight.
Yeah, they're not.
They're always, the amount of wars Michael Chandler's been in and Charles Oliveira, every fight he has, he usually gets hurt and then gets finished or gets out through it.
His ability to come from being hurt to come back and stop the person is just next level.
Chandler is, as a fighter, that when he gets hurt, he's probably his most dangerous. He reminds me of, it's going to sound mental, but Nigel Benn used to box like that. If you ever watch any old videos of Nigel Benn, he was at his most dangerous when he'd just been wobbled, when his legs weren't underneath him and stuff. And Chandler's got the ability to be wobbling all over. Justin Gaethje can do it as well, where his legs aren't underneath him, but he can get enough power to, and he's one of his most dangerous times in a fight is when he's badly hurt. So, we're probably going to get some kind of crazy ending to this fight. I'd be very surprised if it's a boring. Is it a 5-rounder?
I think it's a 5-rounder. I think it is. Yeah, it's not going to go more than a round. This, I'm telling you.
Couple at most.
Yeah, last time was 2, wasn't it? But yeah, I honestly.
Ngannou and Derek Lewis, where fans are booing and that, and they're both circling on outside.
Yeah. I know. Imagine that. No, go on then, boys. Give me your predictions.
Charles Oliveira, round 2, sub. I wanted to pick Chandler, if I'm honest, but
that's where I'm struggling here because I really want it to be Chandler, but I think it will go to points. I think this will go to points. I think it's going to be a war between the two, and Charles will get the nod. Reckon it will be split. The same as he, mate. I would love this to be Michael Chandler. He's a great fighter. He deserves it after all the messing around with McGregor. He deserves
to be a nice guy as well. I follow him on socials. And
he's a lovely from his socials. Yeah.
He's not going to put on his socials he's a prick, is he? But you know what I mean. Some of the stuff that he does, charity-wise, and he's adopted kids and stuff like that. He seems a genuinely nice dude. So I wish the best for him. As Charles Oliveira is, though, he's a likable dude. But I don't speak Portuguese, so I don't know what he's talking about. He could be a knobhead on his socials. Do you know what I'm saying? But the pictures look good. I'm anticipating a great fight. So you think points split?
I'm gonna go with Charles Oliveira to get it done in the first round. I think we're gonna get a firefight. We're gonna get a firefight similar to the first one. Charles is gonna drop him and jump on him and choke him out. That's my prediction. But yeah,
that, but I see it going pretty similar to the first one. But I don't think Chandler will get caught like that. I think Oliveira will manage to get him down, maybe against the cage and trip him and get on top of him and strangle him like that. I think Chandler's going to be too defensively minded with his hands to get caught like that again, unless he gets caught with a kick by dropping his hands. Don't see him got caught with a punch last time, didn't he?
Yeah, he stopped with punches last time. Yeah, left hook.
No, but there were was it a punch or a kick that like knocked him down initially?
Yeah, left hook by Charles.
That's it. He got caught, didn't he, in an exchange? I don't see that happening this time. I think he'll be a little bit more tentative, stay a bit further. I think Charles is going to have to get hold of him.
He hasn't fought in a while either, as well.
But if Charles gets him down, man, he's finished. He's done in a. Chandler's a wrestler.
Yeah, it's game over. But yeah, so
saying that, one of the best scrambles I've ever seen in my life it's on YouTube somewhere. It's Kamaru Usman and Chandler, and they're wrestling like in gym, and they're grappling with each other and they're spinning each other backwards, and it's unreal the balance that he's got.
I saw that in Henry Hoof's gym, wasn't it?
Yeah, the balance that he's got's unreal, and how he can jump and go into like a forward roll and come out through your legs and up onto it. It's amazing. So I'm anticipating an exciting, however long it lasts, it's going to be exciting, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but it's going to be fight of the night, probably written all over it. So yeah, we've got three predictions, isn't it, for Charles Oliveira in this one? Yeah. Although Chandler is definitely a live dog.
Stoppage 2, stoppage 1, both subs.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that one. Obviously, we'll be there for the watch along on Saturday night. Going to be a great night at Madison Square Garden. Jay, Liam, as always, boys, good to chop it up about fights and plenty more content to come later in the week. Thanks for watching.